The leading driver this year at the fairs in Ohio is a repeat from last year. Ronnie Gillespie, this year accumulating 118 wins. Ronnie races primarily in the Ohio Colt Racing Association, and this year he did a lot in the Southern Valley Colt Circuit, but he also does occasionally drive in the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. He usually starts out the year there at Paulding and gets a few wins there at Paulding. And he does a fantastic job. It doesn't make any difference, but you usually see Ronnie, he's usually going toward the top at the beginning. And that's one of his styles of driving, but he does it really well. And I'm glad that Ronnie, last year there was a snowstorm, and Ronnie wasn't able to make it here to the banquet, but this year he did, and I'm glad to see him here. Congratulations, Ronnie.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a long way. I just drove like 700 miles to get here because they told me they was going to give me some money. But I see a clock up here. So. But anyway, first of all, I'd like to thank Christ because I couldn't do it without him. I consider myself as a mystery type of guy because you can't find no record of me. My father didn't do this. I have no relative that did this, So it just happened. My dad took me to a matinee one day, and I said I wanted to do this. And I didn't realize it was hard. This is a hard business. And tell a little story about me, how I got started. In this business, my dad always told me the horse people is the worst business. They gonna lie to you, do this and that. So I just wanted to do this, and so I went out to challenge myself. And the first horse I bought was a $500 horse. I didn't know nothing about pedigree. Like I said, I didn't come up. And my friends laughed at me when I got in the horse, and I was like, "Why y'all laughing at me, man? I have a horse." And the horse had 2 torn tendons. And he said, "Man, you bought a horse with 2 bowed tendons." I didn't even know what that was. I said, "Bowed tendons?" But anyway, I went started doing some research to see what's the problem, how can I fix the problem. When I found out how to fix the problem, oh, boy, I done messed up. But like I heard earlier, to be the first one at the barn and the last one to leave. So that's what it took. I took that horse and I rubbed his legs every day. Didn't have a track to jog him on. I had to jog him up and down the dirt road. Wasn't no help for him, but jogged that horse and I rubbed him 6 months. And I brought the horse to Illinois. That's where I first started out at. And when I went to Illinois, those same guys that laughed at me, every track that I pretty much took that horse to, he broke the track records. He broke all the records. And they like, "What did you do? You using some type of drug or this and that?" I said, "Man, I don't know anything." And they told me to blister the horse, and I met an old gentleman, and he said the best thing to blister him with is some brake fluid. And trust me, it did work. And that horse was 4 years old when I bought him. And I turned around, the horse, I got him to pace 152. And they bought him. The horse went on and raced. Till he retired, till he got like 14 years old. So I knew then that I had a gift. And I always want to fool with babies, and I don't like older horses. I don't like older horses for some reason. But I love babies. And I started at the fairs, and one thing I learned about the fairs is you drive against all type of peoples. I mean, you drive new beginners, old heads, all type. So I learned, to stay out of trouble and don't have many accidents, go to the front. So that's one reason why I like going to the front. So, but I really like to think that I feel kind of special here because I don't see nobody else look like me here. But I would, I saw that I won like 118 races.
Yes, you did.
And the reason for that is because, this is my last thing I'm going to say, I'll get out your way. The reason for that, I challenged myself. I say, I asked a few questions. How many races have anybody won in a single season? And nobody seemed to know. I said, well, I tell you what, I said, I'm going to win over 100 races, and somebody going to start to talking. And they started talking. And one thing, that if you want to be a driver, especially at the county fair, they don't take the 5% out of their checks. So if you win, trust me, they'll pay you. But if you finish second, third, you're not going to see them. Thank you.
Go this way and get a photo. I'll take a photo with